Alright, so we just created a function to manage this claw. So there's a few other things that we can do playing around with this. We've got the arm on the robot, and like the claw, the arm's got a given distance that it can travel. Unlike the claw, I haven't installed any sort of stop, so it doesn't know when it's supposed to stop. So I'm going to play around here, and instead of having my spin arm for 300 that I've got in there, I'm actually going to build another function to manage the arm. So I'm just going to dump that back over there. And let's go events. And let's see, when I receive, we'll start a new message. Let's say arm up. You have to be careful what you're naming these. It won't give you an error, but if you do things like in functions stop or finish, not finished, it'll conflict with other things in the code and you'll get funny errors. So try to do like double word messages and that so you don't get issues when the code compiles. Anyway, I want to submit that. I've got when I receive arm up. Now within this, I need to have some values set up when I start. And like we did here with the bumper to calibrate that arm, or sorry, to calibrate the claw, I'm going to calibrate the arm right off the bat too. So I've got this, I can say set claw position to 0 degrees. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to stick it at the top of my code and change it to arm. So set arm position to 0 degrees. So that means when the robot starts, whatever position I started in, it's now, the arm is considered 0 degrees. So that's helpful because I know what the value is. The arm's heavy too, so gravity's probably going to keep it down at the ground anyway at the starting point. So I don't need a calibration like the claw. So I've got that. So that means down here now, I can start building up a function to lift the claw up. So let's say we'll go into controls. And we will go, I think this will be an if. So when arm up, let's say when arm up, we'll go motion, spin claw forward, so spin arm forward, let's say 200. So it's not a huge jump, but it's enough that we can see the motion. And like in this year's game where we're stacking things, 200 might be the top of one of the risers. So therefore 400 would be the next, 600 would be the next. So spin top, 400. And for the information that we're going to put in there, let's say we'll add this less than comparison. So if something is less than 50, let's say our arm goes up to 500, so I'm going to stick 500 in there. And then we need to get some sort of variable that's managing that arm. So I'm going to go to motion again, and let's see what we have. Nothing in motion. I bet it's under sensing. So sensing, motor sensing. So let's say we've got claw is done, claw is spinning, claw position in degrees. So there we go, claw position in degrees. So we'll change this to arm. Position in degrees is less than 500. So if it's less than 500, it can go up by an interval of 200. If it's greater than that, we can say, come in here, stop arm. Now, we've had a few times where we've looked at these stops. I'm actually going to come in here as well and say set stopping of arm to hold, meaning it's going to just hold steady once it gets to that point. Therefore, so if it receives arm up, it can move up 200. If it's already at 200 or if it's above 500, it's not going to go anymore, so we're not going to hurt our robot. Like I did on the other one, I can add these finishes. So let's say set finish to 0, set finish to 1. So now we've got this statement. So if arm up, it's going to do this, and then it's going to finish. We could do a similar one for arm down if we wanted. So now I could say event broadcast arm up, and then wait until finished equals 1. So it'll, as soon as it's finished equals 1 again, it's going to stop and move on to the next one. Now I'll pull the guy there, we'll see how this works. So if I download to the robot and hit run, calibration, drive forward, picks up the thing, there's my arm going up. So you can see that it's still going up, which is what we want. I could say arm up, arm up, arm up, but what we know right now is it's not going to go up any higher than 500.